Hi everyone. Are you ready to do your speak out exercises? My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic solely dedicated to helping you and everyone with Parkinson's around the world improve your speech and minimize your swallowing difficulties. That's what we're doing, improving speech. And since the same muscles we use for speaking are the muscles we use for swallowing, we are improving your speech and minimizing future swallowing issues. That's our goal. My name is Samantha Ellenderry again, and I am here to help you get your speak out home practice out of the way. Today's topic, read this with me with intent. Can you see that okay? Let's read it together. World Movement Disorders Day. Say that again with more intent. World Movement Disorders Day. That was yesterday. So we are going to learn more about movement disorder specialist. Are you being treated by a movement disorder specialist? What is a movement disorder specialist? That's what we're going to learn about today. Let's all take a sip of water with intent. We'll get the first speak out exercises out of the way, and then we'll move on to the reading and cognitive where we will learn more. The first speak out exercise is the warm-up. I want you to imagine there is a tennis net across from you. I want every sound to fly over the net, not under the net, in the net. Every sound needs to fly forward. We're speaking out. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Every sound with intent. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Connect the sounds, but if you feel that the sound is going to the back of your throat, it's okay to take a breath. Don't think about the breathing. Just tell yourself, I've got to project every sound over the tennis net. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Did you notice how I had to take a breath? We don't think about the breathing though. Just tell yourself, I've got to project every sound forward. Let's do it one more time with more intent. May, me, my, mo, moo. Very good. Now, I want you to pick up your cup or your glass with intent. Take a sip of water with intent. That means to concentrate and swallow with intent. You bet. I am swallowing with intent when I have 2,500 people watching me right now. I'm being very careful. I'm not using my automatic system. I'm using my intentional motor system. Now we're moving on to speak out exercise number 2, the ahs. Deliberately open your mouth wide. Project that ah over the imaginary tennis net. Here we go. Ah. The ah is flying over the net. Don't trail off at the end. Let's do it again. With Parkinson's, the movements tend to be smaller. You might have noticed smaller handwriting or smaller walking. Well, sometimes when you open up your mouth for the ah, the movement is smaller. So you need to deliberately open the mouth. Let's do it again. Ah. We hold it for about 10 seconds. If you can't hold it that long, that's okay. The main thing is that the sound is strong and consistent. It's not trailing off and it's clear. Doesn't sound raspy. Let's do it again. Good job. We're working hard. One more time. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much effort are you putting forth? I hope you're at an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want you using intent. Let's take a sip of water. Very important to drink plenty of sips of water when you do your exercises. This is not coffee, it is water, but I like to sip on warm water. Feels good, you don't have to do that. It just feels better for me. Now we're going to move on to speak out exercise number 3. Everybody's favorite, the glides. I want you to project an ah forward and slowly glide up. I want you to get as many little notes in there as you can. Here we go. Stop. Make sure your head stays up, your mouth is open. We're speaking out the whole time. Let's do it again. As I'm going down in pitch, I actually feel where I'm wanting to put my head down or close my mouth more, so I'm having to use intent. Be confident. Let's do it again. Even though you're going up and down, the sound is always in front of you. We're speaking out the whole time. Let's take a sip of water and then we'll do a couple more. All right, lots of intent. Here we go. I think that's enough glides. Take a sip of water again, and then we'll move on to the counting. Did you do your exercises on Thanksgiving with your family, and did you take a photo? Send those photos to us at intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. The deadline is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the deadline for all the photos. When you send us a photo, send us your name, your address, and your t-shirt size, and we are going to mail you a Live with Intent t-shirt. So tomorrow is the deadline. Get those photos in. Next exercise is the counting. We're going to project every number forward over that imaginary tennis net. We're connecting the numbers, so we're not doing 1, 2. We're going to connect them and we're lifting. So it's 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're not letting it trail off at the end. This time I'm going to use more intent. I'm going to pause a little bit longer because I think I was too quick for that. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. With all of the exercises, they should be a little bit challenging, but not frustrating. That's the key with all of the exercises. If this exercise was too easy, the way that you can make it a little bit more challenging is to stretch out the vowels just a little bit more. Let's count to 16 again. I'm not going to hold up the card. I'm going to use my hand and we're going to stretch it out and you're going to see how challenging it is. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can see how challenging that is. We have different people practicing with us online. Some of you are new to Speak Out, but some of you have been in the program a longer time. So if you need to make it, the exercises need to be a little bit challenging. If they're not, one way is to stretch out those vowels just a little bit more. Let's all take a sip of water, and then we are going to learn more about movement disorders. I also want to mention that tomorrow starts our holiday sing-alongs. Marty and Michelle from our clinic are hosting 3 holiday sing-alongs the next 3 Thursdays. It's free. All you need to do is click on a Zoom link and you are going to have so much fun because it'll be Marty, Michelle, Jeannie, our piano accompanist, and then 2 advocates, Paul and Kendall. You will be singing along with all 5 of them, and it'll be great. So make sure tomorrow it is right after the online session. We will end at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, and then the holiday singing will start 10:45. All right, on to the reading exercise. World Movement Disorders Day was yesterday. It was also Giving Day, so since we're a charity, Giving Day trumped World Movement Disorders Day. So that's why we're celebrating it today. I want you to read every word with intent. Every word is flying over that tennis net, but the highlighted words, you're going to stretch them out just a little bit more. Here we go with intent. November 29th was World Movement Disorders Day. As you're doing the reading, even though this is a whole sentence, you're really focusing on throwing every single word forward. Let's do it again. November 29th was World Movement Disorders Day. Next. It is organized by the International Parkinson and Movement Disorders Society. That is a mouthful. You don't have to say these on one breath. Take a breath whenever you need to. Don't think about the breath. Just think about speaking out. And when you feel you need to take a breath, take a quick one. Let's read it again. It is organized by the International Parkinson and Movement Disorder Society. Next. It is a day to boost awareness about movement disorders. If I was audio recording you and I couldn't see the sentence, would I be able to hear which word was stretched out? Would I be able to tell which words are highlighted? Try it again and use more intent. It is a day to boost awareness about movement disorders. Good job. Next one. The date was chosen to honor Jean-Martin Sharko with intent. Ready? He was a French neurologist born on November 29th, 1825. Are you saying every word with intent? Try it again. He was a French neurologist born on November 29th, 1825. Take a sip of water. Did you know that by the time someone has any symptoms of Parkinson's, they've already lost 80% of their dopamine-producing cells? Dopamine helps to control and coordinate speech. It helps to control and coordinate automatic movements, and speech is one of them. So as we are strengthening the muscles we're using for speaking and swallowing, we're also trying to activate our intentional motor system and take back control over the voice. When you make yourself say a word that is highlighted, say it in a different way, you're forcing yourself to use intent. So speak out is about strengthening the muscles, but then also transitioning speech from an automatic function to an intentional act. That's what we're doing, and that's why we practice in different ways. Let me take a quick sip of water and we'll keep going. All right, next sentence. Project those words forward. According to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, read that again. According to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, keep going, a movement disorder specialist is a neurologist with additional training in Parkinson's disease and other movement disorders. That is a long sentence. When you have a long sentence like that, is your speech rushing? Are you losing control over your voice? The way that you combat that is you speak out. You even stretch out the vowels just a little bit more. So let's try it again. A movement disorder specialist is a neurologist with additional training in Parkinson's disease and other movement disorders. Do you notice how I'm saying every word with intent? Let's do the next one. They focus primarily on Parkinson's and other movement disorders such as dystonia and tremors. If it starts to rush, maybe you started to use your automatic voice again. You've got to focus, concentrate, throw every word forward. Let's do it again. They focus primarily on Parkinson's and other movement disorders such as dystonia and tremors. All right, sip of water, everybody, with intent. We're moving on to the cognitive exercise. What are some ways to learn more about movement disorders? As you answer this question, even if you say, I don't know, when you answer it, say every word with intent. How can you learn more about movement disorders? Let's see what Lisa came up with. Read it with me with intent. International Parkinson and Movement Disorder Society website, books, and podcast. I am going to share this website with you. Here you go. This is the International Parkinson and Movement Disorder Society. Julie will post the link in the chat feature, and if you download this reading material, you will also see it there. If you are looking for a movement disorder specialist in your area, and we will talk about how to do that in other ways, but if you scroll down, it's kind of hard to see. Scroll down all the way to the bottom. If you scroll down to the bottom right here, it's buried down at the bottom, it says Specialist Finder. And you would click on that and then put in your zip code. So if you are looking for a movement disorder specialist, then you can go to this website and find one. Let's keep going with our cognitive exercise. How does a movement disorder specialist differ from a primary care physician? Say every word with intent. Let's read. More specialized, patients with similar diagnoses. I want you to think a movement disorder specialist is a neurologist who has had the opportunity to do a special fellowship in movement disorders. The way that you can think about this, because I know there are many people, in fact, at one time I heard that 50% of people with Parkinson's are being treated by their primary care physician. One way that maybe this might help you to understand how important it is to find a movement disorder specialist is this. I am a speech language pathologist. In school, I was trained to treat infants all the way up to the elderly. For the past 23 years, I have only been working with individuals with Parkinson's. So even though I am qualified, I am licensed to treat children, you probably don't want to send your grandchildren or great-grandchildren to me to be treated. Even though I'm qualified, I am licensed. That is not my specialty. Movement disorder specialists, most of their caseload is Parkinson's and other movement disorders. If you don't have one in your area, then look for a neurologist who has a high caseload of individuals with Parkinson's. If you call the clinic, their office, and you say, what percent of patients do you treat with Parkinson's? And they go, I don't know, we see some. Well, then that's probably not the best place to go. Let's go ahead and do Dr. Boone's words. These words exaggerate the G's, the K's, and the NG's. For all of those sounds, the back of the tongue has to go up and hit the roof of the mouth. With the small movements with Parkinson's, sometimes the back of the tongue doesn't want to go up as high as it needs to for swallowing. This is why Dr. Boone gave us these nonsense words. Let's say each one twice with lots of intent. Gu la gang ga ga. Gu la gang ga ga. Exaggerate every sound. Let's do the next one. Ku, ka, mangu, ka. Ku, ka, mangu, ka. Next one. These are tricky because the G and the L are next to each other. And for the G, the back of your tongue goes up. And for the L, the front of your tongue goes up. So use a lot of intent to make it clear. Gangla, gangla. And the last one. Kukla, kukla. Very good. All right, take a sip of water. We did have a question come in from somebody who plays an instrument, a brass instrument, and they were saying that they noticed that they can play it better, and let me look at they can whistle again, and now they can play their instrument better. And have I noticed this? I want you to think about this as you are speaking out. You are taking deeper breaths. You're moving your vocal folds more. You're moving your lips, your cheek, your tongue. You're moving them with more intent. The movements are greater. Parkinson's wants to make everything small. So it makes sense that somebody would have trouble whistling or playing their instrument. But now it's better. Even wrapping your lips around the mouthpiece, you would do that with more intent, and you would have more strength as you go through speak out. I hope that answers your question. You were asking if that was normal to see that? Absolutely. Yes. All right. We're going to move on to our bonus reading. Here's the bell. All right. We are going to read an excerpt from an interview with Dr. Stanley Fawn, famous movement disorder specialist. Exaggerate the highlighted words. The bonus reading is more challenging. We're working on running speech. So it's not just one sentence at a time, but it's having the strength and the endurance to keep reading, just like you would do in conversation. Here we go with intent. While I was there, he, Brad Rowland, asked me to start a Parkinson's clinic. Now you've got the rhythm. Let's do it again, every word with intent. While I was there, he, Brad Rowland, asked me to start a Parkinson's clinic. He didn't have one at that time, and I said, well, I really don't want it to be just Parkinson's, but all other kinds of related disorders. Are you with me? Here we go. I needed a good name for it. We sat together trying to think of what the name should be, and he was the one who came up. Well, can we call it a movement disorder? They said, that's it. It's going to be called movement disorders. Is that neat or what? I think that's fantastic. Lisa found this. Let's go back. I want you to start with, well. All right, here we go. Well, I really don't want it to be just Parkinson's, but all other kinds of related disorders. I needed a good name for it. We sat together trying to think of what the name should be, and he was the one who came up. Well, can we call it a movement disorder? They said, that's it. It's going to be called movement disorders. And by the way, did you know that Parkinson Voice Project treats people with Parkinson's and related neurological disorders? Maybe I should change that on our website. Maybe it should say related movement disorders. I think that's a good idea. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me today. I want you to speak with intent, swallow with intent the rest of the day, and I will be back tomorrow. Get those photos in, your Thanksgiving photos, send them to intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org, and mark the holiday sing-along. It starts tomorrow after this session for the after the session tomorrow for the next 3 Thursdays. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.